The lockdown period has already crossed the 7th day, and we are on the 8th day of the lockdown period announced by the governments for combating the corona pandemic. The situation of the migrant workers are not only precarious, even the precariousness of their condition is an understatement. They are out of their employment, no earning, and also in most of the places they are being forced out of their rented accommodation by the landlords, and which has created a situation that thousands of the migrant workers have no other alternative but to start to their native place on work, particularly from the Rajasthan, from Haryana, from Delhi, and some other states. Rajasthan, in Punjab, they started thronging towards the native place, sometimes by walk. So in such kind of an horrifying situation, even on the 7th day of lockdown, speaks about the complete failure or complete collapse of the steps, implementation of the steps announced by the government officially through their advisory to state chief secretaries from Home Ministry and also from Labour Ministry, and also the appeal being made by several ministers in the electronic media, including the Prime Minister himself. None of the things at the ground level could be implemented even partially, creating such a horrifying situation. In this kind of a situation, we have already written to the Prime Minister that we don't want nothing more than what you have already directed through your government and through the channel of chief secretaries of all the state governments. These basic thing, what you have directed already, that need to be implemented. Number one, the migrant workers have to be in all the states, have to be ensured shelter, food, medical attendance. Number one. Number two, it must be seen, it must be ensured that now we are approaching the month of April now, tomorrow the 1st of April, in such, they should get their wages duly paid by their respective employers, and nobody should be dislodged of their employment due to absenteeism in the period of lockdown. And four, the landlords must be directed not to evict their tenants during this lockdown period, because eviction of tenants during the lockdown period means just throwing the people on the street as a victim of community transmission of the dangerous coronavirus. This is not only unlawful but also inhuman too. The CITU has been already written to the government. All the central trade unions also jointly appeal to the government through their communication to Prime Minister that these basic measures should have been done on the right from the first day of the lockdown period, but unfortunately even on the 7th day almost nothing has been done. So these need to be done at the earliest. This is the minimum bottom line thing, and a elaborate testing arrangement must be also put in place if we are serious to fulfill the very purpose for which the lockdown, the whole country was observing the complete lockdown for 21 days. If that purpose is to be served, a elaborate testing arrangement has to be put in place in all the states to in tracking the affected people and then quarantining them and then giving them treatment. Without that, the community transmission cannot be put an end to or cannot be arrested at all. So, on the already from CITU organizations, through our different state committees, already initiative has been taken to send and reach some relief to the unorganized sector workers, including the migrant workers, in different places like in the state of Delhi, Haryana, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and also Karnataka in southern side. And I believe that a model has already been established by the LDF government in Kerala, who have put in place more than 1,000 camps for shelter of the migrant worker. They call it guest worker. Already that is in operation, and more than 1,20,000 migrant workers have been sheltered there, supplied food, medical attendance, and all other basic needs of life during this lockdown period. I think that they have already established a model, and central government must see that this kind of model arrangements are put in place in all the states. They cannot stop by issuing a DO letter to all the chief secretaries, and they cannot stop by issuing an order passed on to the state government. They must coordinate, monitor, so that these basic requirements are properly implemented, and only through that way the community transmission can be arrested, and we will be able to effectively combat the corona pandemic and save the entire society from its scourge.